the greatest running back of all time. Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, and Frank Gore are all in the picture. But all of these backs have one thing in common. They fall short of the record set by a monster that went by the name of Emmitt Smith.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So when you look at a true Hall of Fame all-time career, you got to start where every football NFL career starts. And that's college.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Emmitt Smith played for Florida State in the SEC. His freshman year, he put up 1,341 yards, which led his conference, 13 touchdowns, 184 receiving yards, and was 9th place in the Heisman voting as a freshman. It's just insane, the numbers that the guy puts up. Then his sophomore year, he only played 9 games, so 2 less than the average, and he put up 998 yards in that 9 games, over 100 yards a game average, which again is insane. 9 touchdowns, so a touchdown a game. Again, very good. And 72 receiving yards. He didn't place in Heisman voting or anything that year, probably because he played 2 less games than usual, but he probably would have been considered had he played those 2. And then his junior year, which was his final year in college, he put up 1,599 yards, which led his conference, on 284 attempts, which led the conference, on 14 rushing touchdowns, 207 receiving yards, placed 7th in Heisman voting, and was a unanimous All-American first team. It's just an insane college career. And then obviously he got drafted.
Oh, I apologize, Kansas.
And in his first year in the NFL, he got off to a quick start. 937 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns. And just a short 2 years later, he put up a career high for those 3 years of 1,713 yards and 18 touchdowns. And only 3 years later, he broke his own career high again with 1,773 and 25 touchdowns. He ended off his career where he started with 937 yards and 9 touchdowns. And it was just incredible. All 11 other years that he played a 15-year NFL career. 11 other years combined, he had 12,995 yards and 101 touchdowns in those years, which all of that combined added up to 18,355 yards rushing, 3,224 yards receiving, 175 total touchdowns rushing and receiving, and a career yards per carry of 4.2. Every 3 times he got handed the ball, you were getting a first down. Absolutely insane.
So when you look at a 15-year career like this man had, which is almost unheard of for a running back, right? You'd think maybe around age 28 he'd start slowing down, which is what the usual current NFL average at least is. He didn't have a season under 1,000 yards until he was 33, where he put up 975. Which, his consistency is unheard of, right? And then he still proceeded at age 35 to put up 937 yards. He put up numbers that is probably never going to be seen by a running back again, honestly. And when you look at his career accolades, most of these also probably are never going to be seen ever again. He didn't play in 13 games in a 15-year career. He missed less games than he had seasons played. And 6 of those games were from one season when he was 34. He never missed a game almost. It's insane how he stays healthy at a position that's dominated with injuries. He had 10 straight seasons of over 1,000 rushing yards. I think the NFL average nowadays is you don't see many over 10,000 career rushing yards anymore. And he put that up within 10 years. I think he had 14,000 within those, if not a little more, because he was getting well over 1,000 most of the years. He was a first-team All-Pro 4 times. He was voted MVP once and finished third twice. 3 times he was in MVP voting in a career as a running back, which again is kind of insane. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year his first year. He was Pro Bowl for the first 6 years of his career, and then 2 more times back-to-back a couple years later. He was part of the legendary Dallas Cowboys team that honestly took away any and all playoff chances they have nowadays. They probably used it all up then. He was a 3-time Super Bowl champ, 2 of them being back-to-back, and then they made it to the NFC conference game where they lost to the 49ers and then proceeded to win the Super Bowl the next year. Yeah, it's, again, a 3-time, almost 4-time Super Bowl champ is just insane. Not to mention, he won Super Bowl MVP in one of those years. He's just unheard of. He's a talent that is, when you say generational, that might be an understatement of what Emmitt Smith was when he was in the league. And, you'd be thinking, oh, this guy has a lot of yards, right? Maybe, what are his career records for all time, not just for him? His career records that he holds are, in the regular season, rushing attempts, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and overall touches. He holds all 4 of those for a career. And I think most of them he holds by a good margin. Because, again, he played 15 seasons and only missed 13 games. He had consistency, and he terrorized the league for 15 years. And then in the playoffs, too, he has the career all times for rushing yards and rushing touchdowns in the playoffs as for a running back. Which, again, it's just not... It's insane what this man did. He was... he's generally known as this top-end running back with these high stats. But no one thinks about it, how good he actually was. Because MVPs usually aren't running backs. And he was in the voting 3 times. This just is unheard of talent that you probably won't see ever again. That's why Emmitt Smith is the GOAT, simply put. So yeah, if you like what you watch, go watch our other videos. They're all just as good as this one, if not better. But you won't know till you go watch them, so go watch them. And like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. We'll love you till the day you die if you do all those. If you do 2 of them, we'll like you a little bit, but you got to do all 3. Mason, you want to add anything before we wrap it up?
No. I love all you guys already. So you just make my love grow for you if you like, comment, subscribe. For the algorithm.
For the algorithm. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Later.